All right, I'm out here on a windy, super gloomy December day here in South Louisiana, and I got trophy speckled trout on the brain. Let's see if that works out. All right, I'm starting with the bait that got me a really big fish on my last trip. That's a Matrix Mullet. This one's got some hook rash, which I really like. I like when they start looking beat up. I feel like they're actually more productive when they're beat up. Look like a wounded mullet. This wind is screaming, 20 knots or so. Just crazy wind. But this cove I'm in has some grass, some beautiful water, and I've seen a few mullet jumping around. So it's got all the ingredients. It's kind of crazy to target speckled trout on topwater baits in December, but it worked great on my last trip. You saw that when I took my buddy C-Mac and we caught some really nice trout. I caught the biggest I've caught in several years. But if they don't want to play with the topwaters today, they throw in some jerk baits. I got a Matrix rip shad tied on, a bait I really like. But right at the peak of the high tide, I prefer fishing these flats on a rise, but I don't mind the beginning of the fall. Much rather that than the end of the fall. It's a nice mullet, just jumped right near us. Good thing with throwing topwater baits in December is you can catch some absolute tanks. The bad thing is you got to be patient. It's not like April or May. And fish are clobbering topwater baits. Gotta make a lot of casts and be patient. We got a really big front coming tonight, and this wind is a precursor to that. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, goodness, that's a good trout. On my rip shad. Spot lock. Ooh, that's a good trout. He's only got that back hook. All right, dude. I'm gonna tag you and let you go. Oh, that hook slipped. It's now down by his gill. But we got him. Ooh, that was close. I think you'd learn your lesson, Todd. All right, big fella. Let's see how big you are. We're gonna put a tag in this guy and let him go. He's a 17-incher, really nice trout. Not a tank, but a real good fish. All right. There you go. All right. All right, they must want the jerkbait today. No blow-ups on top. Ooh, got hit again. This rip shad's a really awesome bait. I just love the way it looks in the water. Ooh, look at all the ducks. Bunch of gray ducks. These jerk baits become just prime lures this time of year. In wintertime, man, I throw a lot of jerk baits. And just really, really productive. They get best, in my view, when most of the shrimp are out of the marsh and the specks are just really keying on bait fish. The fun thing about jerk baits is, man, fish just absolutely stop this bait. Ooh, like that one. Like that one. Oh, goodness. He doesn't come up at all. Acting kind of weird. He could be a really nice fish. Let's go back. Let's go back and get him. Oh. Yeah, it's a good trout. That might be a 3. Look at that big boy. Oh yeah, it's a good trout. That's a really good trout. All right, settle down, boy. Come on, don't beat yourself up. Yeah, that's a beautiful fish. Look at this speckled trout. That's a tank. That's a good one. Whew, look how deep he took that bait too. He wanted it. All right, big boy. There he goes. Oh my goodness. You know, these trout are just patrolling this flat, eating mullet and glass minnows, whatever else they can find. They become real opportunistic this time of year. I love December where you can pick your days. And these aren't really the most comfortable fishing conditions with all this wind, but it kind of helps mask your sound, ruffles the surface. The fish are a lot less spooky. And you know, these big trout, whew, they're super spooky. Long casts are critical. My natural cadence with this bait is just to twitch it and pause it. Twitch and pause. Almost always hit on that pause. Sometimes they'll hit on the twitch, and that's really fun when they do. You're pulling the bait one way and it basically goes in instant reverse. They do that when they're super aggressive and they see that bait trying to get away. Ooh, there he is. There he is. Oh. Oh my goodness, these fish are beautiful. That's why you throw hard plastics in the wintertime. He's not as big as the last one, that's for sure. Just a real healthy, solid fish. All right. He's about maybe a 17, maybe even a 16. Might be the smallest of the day. Yeah, he's 16 inches. I tell you, this is just as fun as it gets. I love this style of fishing. I've been fishing maybe 10 minutes, probably not even that long. Made some fruitless casts with the top water, but they definitely seem to be much more keyed into the subsurface. Not to say if I didn't stick with the top water I wouldn't catch some, but they're clearly preferring this today, and I love this, so why switch? Oh goodness, that fish crushed it. I tell you what, if that's a trout, that's a good one. Whew. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if that's a trout, that's a really nice trout. And it does feel like a trout. It does not feel like a redfish. This might be a netter. Yeah, it's a good fish. He's big, but he's not as big as I thought he was, based on how he stopped this bait. Whew. He's a 3, maybe a 4. Yeah, he's a really good fish. I'm tempted to net him, but guess I should net him. Just trying to avoid getting those hooks in the net. No such luck, but man, it's a beautiful trout. Look at this fish. That's a pretty trout. Woo! Man, such a fat, beautiful fish. There he goes. You can tell they're healthy when they swim straight down. It's always a good sign. Now, I've been fishing without sunglasses on, which is a really dumb thing to do. Throwing those treble hook baits. You gotta protect your eyes. If you think about it, you get a hook anywhere in your body, you can take the hook out it'll heal. Might not be pleasant, might not be enjoyable, with one exception, your eye. You get a hook in your eye, you're probably gonna be blinded. So super important to protect those eyes. Wear some type of glasses when you're throwing top waters or jerk baits. I mean, you should do it anyway, but even more important with these. I love the surprise of jerkbait bites. You might make 3, 4, 5 casts in a row with nothing, and then wham, one just comes up and rips the rod out of your hands. Now, don't think if you come and do this that you have to look for finger mullet. You just want to see even the big jumping mullet. That's usually an indication that there's a smaller mullet around that the trout are feeding on. That and glass minnows, definitely their key forage this time of year. Ooh, oh, I missed him. Dadgummit. Good hit. He felt those hooks. He's like, I'm not hitting that again. That was a really good hit. Oh, 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 there he is. There he is. That was a weird hit. I don't think this is a big fish. He hit me really weird. Yeah, that's not the size we've been catching. Actually, that's a keeper. I'm gonna take him home. That's just a, I don't know, I'm gonna say 13 incher. That's a good eater. Grunting male, excited to see me. Oh, there he is. Another take-home fish, I think. Actually, he's better than I thought he was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to tag him and let him go. Oh, yeah, he's much better than I thought he was. There you go. Swim off. Now, I fished this rip shad before in videos. As you can see, I switched out the split rings and replaced them with braid. I got a video on exactly how I did that. I'll link to it here. The advantage to that, and you can really tell by today, we haven't lost a whole lot of fish at all. Those fish just really kind of lose a lot of their leverage. They can twist and twist and twist on these hooks without the hook binding up like it would with a split ring. Really highly recommend doing this. You see this bait's getting some hook rash on it as well. Just makes it more productive in my view. Oh, there we go. This fish, I'm reeling him in backwards. He must be foul hooked or he's tail wrapped. Looking more like he's foul hooked. Nope, there we go, he's tail wrapped. That's another one to take home. They can't all be giants. Good eater. Ooh, there's a fish. Oh, come on. This fish is all wrapped up. He's barely even fighting. Now he just realized he's hooked. All right. He's kind of an in-betweener. A lot of people would keep him, but I think I'm gonna let him go. There we go. All right. Man, this is just absolutely awesome. Love, love, love this style of fishing. Oh, goodness. That was a smash. Ooh. All right, we got us a drag ripper here. This could be a good trout. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this could be a real good trout. Could also be a red. He did crunch it. I mean, crunched it. It hadn't come up yet, so at least a reasonable chance it's a redfish. I don't want to lose this fish. I want to see him first. He's fighting more like a trout than a red. If he's a trout, he is a tank. He's a really good one. I'm just gonna baby him. If it's a red, we're unlikely to lose him. I'm thinking trout. I really am. I'm thinking speckled trout. Big trout fight like redfish. Yep, big trout. Big trout. Oh my goodness, really good fish. Really good trout. Not as big as the one I caught the other day, but oh, he's foul hooked too. That's not helping. Got him hooked in the belly. We're gonna have to net him. All right, we got him. All right, really nice fish. He felt bigger than he was just because he was hooked right here in the belly, right there. Oh, beautiful fish. Man, I love these things. Go ahead, dude. There you go. There you go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I've run out of tags, and I really just don't want to beat these fish up. I'm hoping they'll stay in this area throughout the whole winter. They really should, unless we get just some extreme cold. Hot bait of the day, obviously, the Matrix Rip Shad. Really love this thing. It's a smaller profile bait, super productive in the wintertime. I've caught just a ton of fish on this. And as you saw today, some really big fish hit this thing. When you're out this winter looking for fish, search for flats with grass, clean water, and mullet. There's a good chance you're gonna find some speckled trout. You may have to cover some water, do some long drifts, make some long casts, but it's so super rewarding. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Marshman Masson channel on YouTube. And until next time, if we don't see you in the marsh or here on a trout flat, we'll see you right here on Marshman Masson. I'm gonna make one more cast.